Welcome to What's Next with Mary Heaton. Today I'm making another recipe. Weather again outside is getting chilly, so I have pulled out my crock pot. Love the crock pots, and I'm going to be making chili. I'm going to tell you some of the primary ingredients that you need and things that you could substitute. So I am using regular ground beef as well as ground bison. You could substitute those with one, the other. You could put a little bit of sausage in it, turkey, or you could even go vegetarian. I have about 2 heads of chopped garlic. This is 3 onions. Sometimes I use diced tomato, but my garden has given me a lot of fresh tomatoes that have just ripened, so I'm using fresh chopped tomatoes. This is celery and red pepper, as well as green peppers and black peppers, so you'll see how many vegetables are in there. You're going to need salt, pepper, some extra heat, so I put red pepper flakes, chili powder, tiny bit of olive oil just to simmer the ground beef. Now if you have fresh beans, by all means use fresh beans. I'm using the canned beans this time, so I'm using regular chili beans. But I like to spice it up a little bit, so I mix in some black beans and gabazo beans. So you could just go with one type of bean, you can mix them in, feel free to do that. I do have my crock pot, as you can see it's on the sear. So I'm going to sear the ground beef a little bit, then throw in the onion and the vegetables. And then this time I'm going to be using a vegetable juice. This you could substitute as well, because normally if I'm using diced tomatoes, that has a lot of juice in it, so I wouldn't be using the regular juice. You could put in barbecue sauce. Basically, chili is a good way to throw in ingredients that you like, that work well together, and a way to clean out your refrigerator too. I had a lot of tomatoes, a lot of peppers and celery, and I'm like, it's a chili day. So let's get started. There we go. So you can see that this is searing, and leaving some of the ground bison out for a mix in for my dog. Dogs love mix-ins, and raw ground beef is actually a good one for them. So we're going to sear this till it's a little bit golden brown, and then I'll throw in the other vegetables. Okay, so you can see my ground beef and bison are just perfectly browned. So this is when I want to add my garlic and my onion. And I did season the meat separately, so I've already put salt, pepper, and some red pepper flakes into the meat. Here's the onion and the garlic. I'm just going to cover this up and let this simmer for a little bit on its own before adding more of the vegetables. And anyone that has made chili will tell you there's so much protein in it because of the meat or the beans, but then lots of vegetables as well. The onions are perfectly softened. We're going to add in all those nice peppers and that celery. And then I'm going to let this go for a while as well. I'm going to add some salt and pepper on top of this. And then we'll finally add in the beans, but we're going to let this take in a little bit as well. And of course the beans we know are cooked because I'm using the canned ones today, but you still want to make sure they cook long enough to get the flavor. I'm at about the 1 hour point. I noticed that I had some little yellow tomatoes in the fridge, so I mixed those in as well. And I'm going to add the beans now. I'm at the point that I have all the ingredients in here now. So all the beans and everything are in there. I definitely did not use the full amount of the vegetable juice. I probably used about 8 to 10 ounces of it. I don't want it to be too watery. And we're just going to let this go ahead and stay in the crock pot and cook for at least another 2 hours, at which point it'll be perfect and ready to eat. And here it is. my perfect bowl of chili. You can see all the colors in it, the yellow tomatoes, the red beans, the red peppers, the chickpeas and everything. I serve it with pita chips or with croutons. And the nice thing is that it's just as good the next day as leftover or frozen. Enjoy.